$13 billion for just one AI company, all in a single week. That's how September 2025 kicked off. It's a number that really makes you stop and think, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Welcome, everyone. We're looking at what you could call an astronomical phase of capital investment in AI. That first week of September, it wasn't just, another funding cycle. It felt like a real seismic shift.
Yeah.
The AI wars, as people call them, they're definitely heating up. We're seeing battle lines drawn with, frankly, unprecedented amounts of money.
It feels less like just an arms race now and maybe more like a space race. Billions pouring in, not just to the top players, but kind of across the board.
That's a good way to put it. This week alone, the infusion of capital created these massive war chests across the industry. It really signals a dramatic escalation in chasing AGI, artificial general intelligence. That idea of AI performing any intellectual task a human can. And it just underscores the monumental computing power and, honestly, the sheer talent needed to even compete at this level.
But what really struck me, looking at the details, is it wasn't just about classical AI, right? Not just neural networks or LLMs. Significant money also flowed into technology sort of beyond that, specifically quantum computing.
Yes, that's a really interesting point. It's a clear signal, I think, that the smart money isn't only focused on today, but on what's next. They're betting on that next technological horizon, the one that could fundamentally reshape AI altogether.
So for you today, we're going to unpack this incredible week.
Yeah.
We'll start with those huge headline-grabbing deals for the foundational AI models, look at the sort of different visions getting billions in backing.
Right.
Then we'll pivot to that leap into quantum computing, maybe the future, but clearly on the radar now. And finally, we'll explore this fascinating range of AI applications already changing industries, healthcare, customer service, all sorts. It's a deep dive into where the money's flowing and what it might mean for all of us. Okay, so let's dive into it. The two biggest stories from that week, at least for me, they really showcase different but maybe equally compelling visions for AI's future. First up, Anthropic. The scale is just wow.
It was absolutely astounding. Anthropic, the creators of the Claude family of LMs,
Right.
They secured an incredible $13 billion, Series F, on September 2nd.
$13 billion.
It's not just big, it's one of the largest private funding rounds in tech history. Full stop. It's a huge war chest. Puts them right up there as a major competitor to OpenAI, to Google.
And it's not just the amount, is it? It's their specific angle, their philosophy.
Exactly. Their core mission isn't just building powerful AI. It's fundamentally centered on AI safety. They're aiming to develop systems that are steerable, interpretable, and really crucially aligned with human values. And this focus on safety is not just talk. It seems to be a key differentiator for them. A strategic choice. Really, in a field where, let's face it, concerns about powerful AI are definitely growing. They're trying to build in the guardrails from the start.
And that kind of focus, that requires just enormous resources. So this capital, it's going straight into funding the huge supercomputing needed for training, right?
Right.
Attracting the absolute best AI talent globally, scaling up their enterprise offerings. It all fuels that long-term mission. Develop safe, beneficial AGI, ushering in, they hope, an era of responsible intelligence.
A very ambitious goal.
Now, let's shift just slightly, but stay with foundational models. We also saw Mistral AI, Europe's leading LLM company, many would say secure a massive 2 billion euros. That's about, 2.2 billion US dollars in their Series D on September 4th? Still a huge amount.
Yeah, and this is where you see a really fascinating contrast in strategy. Mistral plays a different, but arguably just as vital role. They're really a champion of open source AI models.
Okay.
And they're seen as key for European AI sovereignty. Unlike some competitors who keep their model weights, the inner workings, private, Mistral often releases models with open weights.
Right, so the code, the parameters, it's out there for people to see and use.
Exactly, it's publicly available.
And that open approach, it has real strategic advantages, doesn't it? It helps build this large, loyal community, developers, researchers. They can all build on it, improve it, scrutinize it.
Drives rapid adoption, too, because anyone can use and customize their tools. It really fosters innovation and transparency.
So this funding for Mistral, it covers those huge compute costs for training new models, but also lets them expand their commercial side.
Precisely. Expanding their commercial offerings for businesses that want that flexibility, that transparency that open source can provide.
Okay.
So it really brings up an important question, doesn't it? We're funding these two very different paths. One closed, proprietary, focused on internal safety controls. The other open, collaborative, What kind of future are we actually investing in here?
That's the big question, and it seems like the answer, this week anyway, was both. Investors are backing the highly controlled, safety-focused Anthropic model and the open, community-driven Mistral model. It suggests the market sees value in both, maybe for different reasons.
Right, maybe not converging on one winner just yet.
So we've looked at these foundational battles, the investments shaping AI right now. But what about when investors look further out, beyond the immediate horizon? That's where it gets really interesting, looking at quantum computing.
Yes, exactly. Quantinuum is the perfect example. They announced the $600 million funding round, September 4th, led by Honeywell. And that really highlights this growing synergy between quantum computing and AI. It's fascinating.
Yeah, it is. So for people maybe less familiar, what is Quantinuum actually building? And why is it potentially so important for AI's future?
Well, what's really interesting is they're building both the quantum hardware and the software, the algorithms that run on it. It's an integrated approach. Think of quantum computers as a fundamentally new kind of machine.
Okay.
Classical computers use bits, zeros, or ones. Quantum uses qubits, 0, 1, or both at the same time, thanks to superposition and entanglement. This lets them explore just vast numbers of possibilities simultaneously. They can tackle certain problems that are just impossible for even today's best supercomputers.
And how does that connect specifically to AI? What are the implications?
Oh, they're profound. Imagine optimization problems where current AI just gets stuck because the number of possibilities is too huge. Or simulating molecules for drug discovery, or new materials with incredible accuracy. Quantum machine learning could unlock totally new kinds of algorithms.
Not just faster versions of what we have now.
Exactly. New approaches. Leveraging quantum principles could potentially supercharge AI capabilities in ways we can barely imagine today. Maybe optimizing how deep learning models are trained, making them more efficient, more powerful.
Whoa, imagine the possibilities there. Solving problems we literally can't even touch today. That really is a leap. So this funding helps them push towards fault-tolerant quantum computers.
Yes, machines powerful enough to reliably solve real-world commercial problems, not just lab experiments. So connecting this back to the bigger picture, how soon do you think quantum computing could really start to reshape the AI landscape, like in a way that impacts everyday applications?
That is the multi-trillion-dollar question, isn't it? My gut says it's still a ways off for, widespread commercial impact. But this kind of investment, especially from Honeywell, shows serious long-term belief. Are we talking decades, do you think? Or could a breakthrough speed things up maybe in the next 5-10 years for specific areas like drug discovery?
I'd probably lean towards the 5-10 year mark for specific high-value applications. The investment signals confidence that the science is sound, and the engineering hurdles, while huge, might be solvable within that time frame for certain niche problems. It's definitely a marathon, not a sprint, but yeah, the pace is picking up.
Okay, so stepping back from the foundational models and the quantum future, what does all this investment mean more broadly? Billions aren't just going to those headline acts. They're flowing into pretty much every corner of the economy. It shows how pervasive AI is becoming. Let's look at a few examples.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not just the giants. It's this quieter revolution happening in so many sectors.
Let's start with customer service enterprise automation. Sierra raised $350 million on September 4th. They're making AI agents for customer service, but these go way beyond simple chatbots.
Okay.
Think about it. AI that understands complex issues, pulls data from different places, and actually resolves problems autonomously using conversational intelligence. It's not just reading a script, it's solving the problem. Could dramatically change that whole experience.
That's a huge potential upside. Fewer frustrating calls.
Yeah.
I think everyone can get behind that. But it does raise questions about the future roles for human agents too, doesn't it? Upskilling or displacement.
A really important question, absolutely. And then Layer X got $100 million on September 1st. They have an AI SaaS platform for enterprise automation, helping big companies automate complex workflows, using AI to understand business data and execute multi-step tasks across different systems.
Like connecting Salesforce and SAP data automatically.
Exactly. Processing invoices, onboarding employees, stuff that take a lot of manual effort before. It's like building with intelligent Lego blocks of data and decisions.
Which could mean a lot of repetitive work disappearing for many office workers.
Then moving into healthcare. Drug discovery, massive potential here. Treeline Biosciences came out of stealth with $200 million on September 3rd. They're using AI for oncology drug discovery, finding new cancer medicines.
How does that work? Exactly.
Well, imagine AI analyzing just vast amounts of genetic, molecular patient data, identifying new drug targets, maybe even designing potential drug molecules way faster than human teams could manage.
Right. Because the traditional drug discovery process is incredibly slow, super expensive, and often fails. AI promises to make it much faster, much more precise, accelerating getting life-saving therapies to patients.
Yeah, potentially by orders of magnitude. And then there's Cited Health, $44 million raised on September 2nd.
Yeah.
They're focused on early cancer diagnostics, developing new tests using biomarkers and AI to spot cancer signs at the earliest possible stages.
Which we know is absolutely key. Early detection saves lives. AI sifting through complex data to find those subtle early signals, that's incredibly powerful.
Definitely. It's about finding those patterns humans might miss.
Okay.
Finally, let's touch on identity and search. ID.me secured $340 million on September 3rd. They're a leader in digital identity verification, letting you create one secure digital ID to use across different online services. AI is critical for verifying documents, biometrics, accurately and quickly.
Yeah, in our increasingly digital world, a trusted way to verify who you are online is essential for security, for fraud prevention. It simplifies things for users, but also builds trust.
For sure. And then U.com raised $100 million, also on September 3rd. They're challenging the big search giant, building an AI-native search engine that gives you direct, summarized answers, pulling info from across the web instead of just that list of blue links you have to click through.
Soft laugh.
Yep.
Yeah, I still wrestle with prompt drift myself sometimes, trying to get a straight answer from search. So I definitely appreciate models aiming for more directness, getting you to the answer, not just near it. So, okay, given this explosion of applications, and let's be honest, the sheer number of things labeled AI now, how do we as observers tell the difference between real innovation, deserving this cash, and just, AI washing?
That is such a critical question. AI washing being like slamming an AI label on something that isn't really AI driven just for hype or funding. But looking at these examples, the money seems to be following really concrete problems that AI is solving. It's not just a buzzword. It's measurable impact, improving customer service, speeding up drug discovery, making digital identity more secure. Investors seem to be looking for actual solutions here, not just marketing spin.
Got it. So look for the tangible problem being solved.
Right. Mid-roll sponsor read. Wow. Okay, recapping that week. It was just wild. We've navigated the sheer scale of investment in early September 2025. I think we can agree it felt like an astronomical phase, really showing how intensely these AI wars are heating up.
It really was something. And I think the crucial thing to take away is that dual focus we saw. On one hand, these massive bets on foundational AI, Anthropic, Mistral, representing those different strategic visions.
Right, the closed versus open approaches.
Exactly. But then alongside that, these really crucial investments in next-gen tech, especially quantum computing, that's a long-term play for the future of computation itself. And then the broad spread of applications, healthcare, enterprise, identity.
It paints a really compelling picture. It's not just about a few big winners.
Yeah, connecting it to the bigger picture. This week wasn't just about funding companies. It felt more like capitalizing the next chapter of human innovation, laying down the technological groundwork for the world we're all going to live in. It's building the infrastructure for future intelligence.
It really makes you think, doesn't it, about the long-term effects. Here's a question for you listening. What single innovation from this funding spree, whether it's, say, for AI, open models, quantum breakthroughs, or a specific application, do you think will have the biggest, maybe most unexpected impact on your daily life in the next 5 years? And why? Give that some thought.
That's a great question to ponder. And I'd just add, as we watch these technologies accelerate so incredibly fast, developing our own critical thinking skills is going to be absolutely essential for all of us. Navigating this landscape isn't just about understanding the tech, but really understanding its ripple effects on society, on our lives.
That's a perfect thought to end on. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the future of AI as seen through one incredible week of investment. Out to your own music.